I'll do it the other way. I'll listen to you for a while before I open my mouth, so that I get a sense of what you are thinking. I'm pretty clear. I know why I'm here. So,
yeah. So the ball is in our court. So yeah. So let's start off. Well, I don't really want to start off as such, but it's very clear what position we are in right now, and it's the elected representatives who we all feel are the people who can, raise the voice. But to get a certain clarity in the House with respect to what the issue is, we would like some of the students to, start asking questions.
I'll ask a question. I'll start with asking a question. Why are you disturbed? What is it about the situation that is disturbing you as creative people? Explain that.
So, the day which we started the strike was all about, we came to know that there is somebody called Gajendra Chauhan has been appointed as the chairman of FTII Society. Many of us really didn't know who this guy is actually. We had to Google his name, and we came to know that he, the first video I saw when I Googled, because I'm from Kerala, so I have never seen Mahabharata also. So I was searching in Google. The first video I saw was, he's dancing with Asharam Babu. And the second video I saw was he's campaigning for Narendra Modi, and he's saying that I think Modi is the avatar of Sri Ram Bhagwan. And the third video I started seeing the other films which are almost famous or notorious whatever by all these 50 days. So I really think that we are the people who gave him a second break after Mahabharata, because he's quite famous now. I definitely think that he's going to get selected for the next Big Boss also. So the thing started like that. But the next day we came to know that there are more people, there are more poisons inside. There are somebody called Anakha Gaisas, against whom there is a court verdict which saying that she doesn't know the difference between fiction and non-fiction, and she doesn't have got any proper education on film direction or editing or any process of film. And she has made 4 propaganda videos, all for the extreme right-wing forces, which are not films, which are actually propaganda videos. And another guy called Narendra Modi. That's nothing to do with the medium of art or culture or anything. He has heading a student organization called ABVP for the last 4 years. And 8 years back, they had screened the film in National Film Archives of India. It's called Jai Bhim Comrade by Anand Kadori, which was a national award-winning film. And a group of activists of ABVP came and assaulted us, including me, 4 or 5 of the students. We were got attacked very badly. And that time, this guy was heading the organization called ABVP. So the court case is still going on. So it doesn't make any sense him being here, and it doesn't have anything to do with films or art or culture, literature, theatre, painting, music, whatever, fashion, nothing. He has nothing to do with all these things. There is somebody called Shailesh Gupta. He is actually one of our alumni, But we have thousands of alumni, This guy, what is specialty about him, because he made a film called Shapat Modi Ki for Modi's propaganda. It was a 5-minute film, and I'm very sure that if that film would have been a very hit during that time, Modi would have failed in the elections. It's such a bad film, and he has done nothing else. He has assisted in a few commercials and all these things. Our first year students also do the same. So we look at the legacy of chairman we had. Saeed Mirza, we had Yuva Rangamurthy, we had Girish Karnad, we had, Adur Gopalakrishnan, Shyam Benegal. So, Mrinal Singh, there is Gajendra Chauhan standing. And then we came to realize that it's not just about FTII Pune. It's also about, it's happening in a lot of other institutes, higher education institutes in India. They have done the same with ICHR, the cultural institutions, ICHR. And they have cut down 50% of budget, annual budget from NSD and Kendra Sahitya Akademi. So it clearly gives us a clue that where this government is heading to. And they are sending Baba Ramdev to IIT Delhi, and he is taking a class on technology and cows. This is scary. We have no other option, right? And also, sir, and the day we started this strike, all these society members words, they have started threatening us outside. You know, these people are anti-nationals. Then we became anti-Hindus. Then we became Naxalites and Maoists. And they are doing it. Somebody like Subramanian Swami, I'm sure that nobody gives a, anything about him. But still, he's saying that we are Naxalites. And no, I mean, we belong to this ministry of IM. You know, they are responsible for us. They should have responded to that argument. And their organization, every day they come, all these Patil Pawan, all these people are coming in our gate, in front of our gate. Today also they are, they are shouting slogans against us. They are threatening us. They are like, all our social media thing and all, they are threatening and they are calling us and they are giving threatening calls and all.
Why do you think you're at the end of the day 250 students? Why do you think the government is sort of disturbed with what you're doing? No, I mean, you shouldn't be such a big force that the government of India gets agitated, or government of India is sort of disturbed with this little school over here. How many are you? 250 students? 250. What do you think is going on? Why is it that you are disturbing their peace of mind?
One very important factor is that our major concern was with the capability of people. Now, it could be subjective opinion also, but when we went and met the ministry, we put forth court judgments where, like you mentioned, the integrity of the filmmaker of the leading profession. We put forth facts to establish that they are incapable people. Government, however, after making these appointments, not even once till date has come out and explained as to how the government feels these members are capable.
No one has come here and said this is what we feel.
They have not even once said that these people are capable. All they say is go back to class. All they say is our prerogative. And I want to communicate it through you because you represent us in Parliament in a certain way. And a lot of other members of Parliament who represent us. That we do not want to, say anything about it. I mean, we don't want to appoint your chairman. We don't want to decide anything. All we're asking is like, we are telling you how we think they're not capable. Please tell us how to do this. It is your prerogative. The students are not saying it's our prerogative. That's a wrong information. It's your prerogative, but when you exercise that, you have to establish in a democracy, how do you think these members are capable? That's point one.
Is there anyone in this room who thinks that they are capable? There's one person who thinks maybe they're capable, or not even one person? Have you met these people? You have, but you know that for sure.
We have met them on TV channels.
You have enough. You have enough.
I mean, the kind of language they speak, and like organizers came up with us something. And we were there on the news channel with them. Who was also there that day. And I mean, the kind of remarks that they make, the kind of language they speak, you cannot have a dialogue. They tell us that because he's played Yudhishthira role and you are anti-Hindu, so you don't want him. Now, how do I talk to him? I mean, then we don't. And that's why we're saying that we don't even need to talk to them. You don't talk to the ministry, we've said that over and over again. Ministry got back to us saying that we will not talk to you at all, after 5 formal letters sent to them. And what we essentially see, even those people who come to channels and support them, there's a huge lack of tolerance. You can have a certain political view, we can have a certain political view. At FTII, each one of us has different political views, but we question each other. We respect your view. Your view doesn't need to match mine, but I need to respect yours. The problem we see is, when you come and tell us, this is my view, I see it this way, if you cannot see it this way, then go. We have a problem with that lack of tolerance. And I think because they are not able to tolerate questions, is why these 250 students have become such a big thing for them, because they cannot take questions at this point in time. They're not willing to have a dialogue. And we've been asking for a dialogue. We are the victims of this strike, not them.
So like already mentioned by a couple of students, also what happens is that there's a lot of accusations about this whole thing becoming political. Right now outside the gate there was ABVP and STI chanting slogans at each other. But that's where the thing is that what we are fighting for is very simple. Like even if, like in the past, maybe there have been political appointments in the sense that people loyal to the party have been appointed. Okay. But the artistic respect that we have for the people that have been appointed is just not there. Because a certain body of work, a minimum body of work that is required to be in the apex body of the premier film institution of the country. It is not a joke. I mean, in our country, maybe we've got respect to a certain muddle of politics, etc. But our education has always been paramount. We've been proud of our education. We've been proud of having the best people in mathematics. We make fun of the United States. This is a stupid example. But we've been proud of our premier institutions. We've been proud of our IITs, our IIMs, our FTIIs. And when those institutes start getting meddled with, is when the voice of the students, that's why, like you asked this question, why are they so concerned? Why is the youth so concerned? It's about the precedent that it is setting. It is about the degradation of education. We want to get away from all this politics also. Those questions have come because we didn't have any credibility of them. There was no credibility, so obviously we thought, why have then these people been appointed? If a governing council has to be selected, if a FTI society has to be constituted, and Anagha Ghaisas comes forth and says that I want to be part of the governing council, then how do you go from that situation to her being part of the governing council? What is the process? What is the transparency? Because there are so many filmmakers in the country. Like Mr. Gajendra Chauhan keeps mentioning that I have worked for 35 years. Fine, I respect you. I respect you a lot as an actor. But there are so many people in the industry who have worked for 35 years. There are all sorts of people working for 35 years. Are all of them capable to come here and be part of the apex body? On what basis has the government found him to be capable? On what basis has Anagha Ghaisas been found to be capable? So these are the answers that we are getting. These are the answers that we want to the questions that we are asking.
Well, there's two questions, right? The way I look at it. Let us suppose that the people were capable. And you still got 250 people, entire student body, who said we don't want them. That in itself is questionable. I would say, even if the people are technically capable, from a democratic perspective, if the entire student body says we don't want them, that in itself is a huge issue. So there are actually two issues here. One is the issue of mediocrity. That you're taking somebody who's mediocre and putting it on top of people who want to live their lives not being mediocre. And you're taking that as an insult. You're saying, listen, we are capable people, we believe in our talent, we believe in our work, we want to live our lives developing this work, and now you're putting this example on top of us of somebody who we don't respect. That's one issue. Second issue is, democratically, if 250 out of 250 people say we don't want him, he shouldn't be there. So to me, there are two issues. This is not only going on in your school. This is going on systematically in the education system, in the bureaucratic system, in the judicial system. It is being done systematically across the board. And it is being done precisely to take away power from you. This is not about your school. You're saying we're not in politics. You are in politics. You just don't realize you're in politics. This is about your power. And this is about the rules that you will live your life with going forward. Why I'm here is because I fundamentally believe that if this is an institution, you form a huge part of it. And if your voice isn't being heard, that's a problem. Even if you were to tell me, if 250 of you were to tell me, this is absolutely the right guy in terms of talent, but we don't like him, that in itself is an issue for me. Because I fundamentally believe in your democratic right. Right? That's why I've come here. I believe that wherever this country has been successful, it has been because we have promoted people who are capable. And the RSS and their ideology is systematically promoting mediocrity. They're doing it across the board. And it is something I see in the political system every day. There is no ability to say no in that system. We watch them in Parliament. In the Congress party on our side, everybody is saying, no, well, I don't think so, maybe, maybe not. We don't agree. There is no discussion in their side of the bench. One man decides the whole thing. If the Prime Minister of India has decided
that you guys are going to get this man. Nobody in the BJP, whether he agrees or doesn't agree, is going to say that. That's why I'm standing here. Because I think that you people should be allowed to make some of these choices. I'm not saying that it's only your choice. Sure, there is the faculty and sure, there is the government of India. But you must have some voice in it. 30%, 40%. And if universally you're saying we don't agree, then somebody should come here and say, listen, what's going on? Why not? So, that's what I've done.
Is there anyone else who wants to follow this up? So what you are also leading...
Normally this quiet. Are you normally? Because you're filmmaking, guys should be like all over this thing. That's a very minor issue. That can be raised. The real question in your mind is how strongly you're ready to fight this type of thing. That's the real question. I can help you, and I'm happy to help you. But this is not simply about this school. This is what you have to understand. This thing is being done to your entire country. You might be able to turn around and get this gentleman removed. But this is not only happening here. You're feeling it here. This is happening across the board. Just look at the nature of discussion that is taking place. You just told me that they're beating you up. That's the nature of discussion. You agree with us? Good. You don't agree with us? We crash it. Or we'll shout you down. Or we'll say you're anti-national. Or we'll say you're anti-Hindu. Or we'll say... These are all techniques to shut you up. They're scared of you. You understand that? They're scared of you. The moment you start to speak, they're scared. If you keep quiet, they'll push you over. That's the nature of a bully. Any of you got bullied in school before? When you were kids? You? Just tell me the experience.
In retrospect, it's fun. When I faced it, I knew what it was like. Also, like, these tags that we have put, anti-Hindu, anti-national, Naxal. First of all, I don't understand what is anti-Hindu in a secular state. I am a Hindu and I can still say I don't really believe in Hinduism. And who are you to raise your voice against me? I do. FTII as a space, we enjoy all kinds of sensibilities, and we actually give scope to each other to say and practice what we believe in and what we stand for as an individual. And to me, the current situation where it is going, I'm afraid that education obviously is at stake, but also our individual being, our individual choice of living, and our individual just freedom of expression is going to be shunned in no time. And my concern is that, and that is why I think all of us are striking here, because we are waiting for a better verdict, we're waiting for a better situation to develop. And no one wants to be bullied.
And you think it's going to stop at the placement of these 3 or 4 people?
Absolutely not.
You think if you're successful and you remove them and you say, okay, you make the government buckle, do you think it will stop?
No.
How do you think it will? Where do you think they'll come from next? Huh? Why do you think they want only one idea from this country? Why is it that they don't mind multiple ideas? Why is it that they do mind multiple ideas? Sorry. Why is it that they only want one idea?
Because it's going to a dictatorship government, and they want that. They want people to think like the same. They want people to behave like the same, and they want people to follow them. And I'm sorry, I have been born and raised in a democratic country. I am 25 now, and for 25 years I have believed that I belong to a democratic, secular country, and I cannot change my 25 years of belief because some bully is trying to make me behave in their way.
So what do you do when a bully comes and bullies you?
I give them a slap.
That has to be the approach. The approach has to be that, listen, we will resist this. Right? And more than just simply resisting it in your school, you could also see where it's being done to you outside your school. You know, the type of ideas that, listen, this is the way this country thinks, and if you don't agree with it, well, bad luck. You are anti this country. So those are some of the things that you people have to do, and let me tell you, there's no one more powerful than you. Because you're sitting here with the ability to make movies. I mean, there's a really nice movie for you guys to make, which is this one. Right? Yeah. So there's a nice movie on how the government of India and the entire mind of the Indian state was trying to push 250 students aside and having quite a tough time doing it. That's quite a good movie. Right? So I think don't let these people curb your creativity. You do what you dream of doing. You do what you were designed to do. You do exactly what you please. This fight will fight them. Changing this, gentlemen, this is not a big deal. The real action is afterwards, when you see a conversation being stopped because somebody says, listen, that's not, patriotic Indians don't do that. Or patriotic Indians don't do this. That's the discussion that's the challenge that you have to take. And you'll be successful if 100 movies come out of this room that tell the rest of India what was being done to you. So what I'm saying is this is just a minor interaction, minor fight that you're facing here. The real fight is spending your lives pushing what the real idea of your country is. That everybody should have space. That there should be love and affection in this country. That we shouldn't be beating each other up or bullying people or thrashing people or abusing people or slapping women. That's the real issue. And I hope that once you're done with this, I'm pretty confident that you will win this. Once you've won this, that you don't forget that it's just happening in your school. That you take the pain that you've got right now and use it for good. Anyway, I've spoken too much. I want to hear more of you. You guys are too quiet.
उधर के बाहर नहीं निकल रहे क्या मत चलो इसको इतने राइट पे लॉक कर देना
But my question is slightly different. It's a different topic, I would say, and I want to know what your thoughts are about privatization. Because when we met a group of students and ex-students went to meet Mr. Jaitley, he hinted at private players being interested in, probably acquiring this place. This place has produced great filmmakers for the last 60 years, and it has a great brand name. And probably there are people waiting to capitalize on that. And I must also tell you that we faced the same problem even when UPA was in power. Ambika Soni was the anti-ministry, and a certain private body called Hewitt Associates, who don't have anything to do with filmmaking whatsoever, were asked to make a detailed project report on FTII, and capacity to expand it. So this place, basically what it does is that because it's subsidized by the taxpayers' money, a lot of people from very remote corners of the country can come and tell their stories. Once something like privatization happens, the fees and everything else will shoot up. And it won't be, automatically exclude a large section of the society to come here and make films. So could you please share your thoughts about that?
I think there is a space for government in education. So, if you were to ask me, I wouldn't be for privatizing an institution like this. There is also a place for private people in education, a regulated space. But I think if you look at the really successful institutions in this country, right? Whether it's your institution or it's the IIT, these are not private institutions, these are government institutions. So, I like to learn from the past. We've been pretty successful at building solid institutions of education in this country, and the government has done. So I think there's a lot to learn from that, and I think the issue is building those institutions and scaling those institutions. I mean, we've got IITs, but the idea of the IIT is an idea that was constructed many years ago. So I think what we should be looking at is scaling up and developing the IIT of the 21st century. But I wouldn't be for privatizing something like your institution at all. And I'd be very surprised, by the way, if the Congress Party allowed that.
So do we have your assurance of sorts?
We're not in government. But I'll tell you what, if they try to privatize it, I'll be sitting here with you.
Obviously, then the argument for a lot of us, because we were, let's say, with the team that went to track and well, they are very much concerned.
You told me that.
Yeah. So, as you rightly pointed out, it is an idea which has actually brought all these institutes to where they are. And as we are seeing this strike develop, as we are seeing the story develop, we are realizing that the current government, and in its complete capacity, is actually stopping us from that idea. It's stopping all those institutes which were started with an idea of how students in this country who are picked from different parts of India with different caste, creed and financial backgrounds, how as a government we take the responsibility to help these students represent India and represent the concerns of India at the highest level. And today, through our strike and through the concerns that the students are raising here, this very idea that this place was set up with and so many other places were set up with is under threat. And that is the reason why all of us, the students from the FTII, will be travelling to Delhi on the 3rd of August. We will be staging a protest in front of the Parliament to raise this very question that, look, it's not just us, it's all those people who are affiliated with education in a very serious way, who the government is funding, who at this point in time feel threatened by their very existence, by the thoughts that they are developing in these nurseries, by the actions that they're going to have for the future of this country. All these people who feel threatened will be there on the 3rd of August in front of the Parliament questioning the current government.
How are you going to go there?
We're travelling by train, sleeper, 4 o'clock in the single bogie. All of us are packed in one bogie. And the railway has been very...
Security reasons, meaning?
We are not eating out the same thing here.
Yeah. But the Indian Railways has not objected to our travel. We are really happy that the Indian Railways has not objected to our travel.
I noticed there are some people from outside India as well. Or where are you from? From Russia. From Russia. Okay. So what do you think about this?
Today I don't know say what I'm really thinking because of the situation in Russia.
Yeah.
It's like very beautiful, but I always think that Indian government always listens to people, and I was surprised when I came to India because I saw a lot of writing on it, and I was really like, why are they striking this government? Yeah, maybe it's working. It's really working. So comparing design. And I was surprised that I met this situation in FTII because there are creative people and it's I'm sorry for these words, but this situation making the creative people like important attention. It's cutting our fantasy, our feelings. Maybe it will work in some other institutes like engineering or something, but it will not work in this kind of.
And how do you find it? What do you think of the institution so far? Having been here, are you impressed with it, or what do you like about it?
About
Yeah,
I think there should be. I was searching in Russia about Indian thinking and I heard about this. I like. I hope it like, we had a question like, there was a person who was to go for class. Like this question coming every day. So actually, I think all of us, we want to go. We want to go for class, but not in this way. We want to wait for some good one.
So nobody is going to.
No one.
No one.
No one.
We want very much, but we can't.
We've had sessions and interactions with so many people under the wisdom. That is our class. That is our official classroom, and this interaction with you also is part of those classroom sessions.
That's pretty impressive. So who's your favorite film? I can also learn something before I go back.
I think I like Chilan's work from Turkey. And Inaniku is another person. For us, it's very difficult to pick up one name and say that, okay, this is my filmmaker. But yeah, I mean, there are certain filmmakers who, like Zafar Parani in Iran, who perhaps is under house arrest and still, in his own way, releasing these things. So it's very inspiring. There are different genres. In fact, the idea of cinema, the way we see films, it evolves in these 4-5 years that is kind of here at FTII. It takes a long time because of a lot of reasons. However, when you get exposed to cinema in a certain way, in a certain manner, the moment money starts coming in, then cinema also becomes a certain kind. And because that is not a deciding factor here, it's a great place for cinematic experiments. And this has to be understood in spirit and thought.
So what would you say, how long have you been here?
4 years almost.
So what would you say is the biggest lesson for you in those 4 years?
I think the biggest lesson for me in these 4 years was that it in a way broke me down. I mean, my entire understanding of where I am, what I think, what I believe in, it kind of broke systematically in a certain way. About cinema per se, I think we realize that it is not just about understanding a meaning. So you don't just watch cinema to make sense. There's a lot of cinema that lies beyond sense. And to be in that space of cinema which lies beyond sense and understand what it evokes in you, and perhaps trip on it for a while. I mean, a lot of things happen. So I think the first thing that I learned, it broke me down. I mean, here, when you come here, you crack a very difficult examination. And we all sit together and we see that almost everybody else has a view and they can articulate their views in a certain way. They have their own reasons for those views. In fact, during the strike also, amongst us, there are members who have very different political views. And under the wisdom tree for the first 7 days, we did not even discuss Gajendra Chauhan or the government. We were discussing ourselves, questioning each other. This spirit to, so I think FTII taught me to question myself first, and then the rest of the things around me.
Do you think commercial institutions just being run on money, and this goes to the privatization question you asked, do you think those type of institutions foster this type of questioning?
The challenge is India as a country has a lot of economic diversity. Now here, there are people who come from downtrodden villages to urban spaces. They clear a certain examination, this task, we all sit together. So there's a very different flavor of life we get. Okay, now you go to private institutions. So you need to ask me for 2 years and you don't have 25 lakhs in my pocket to first apply. The moment I put that as a benchmark, you've already negated a certain class of people who aspire to be in a film school but cannot be. And then the forum that is set up is not as diverse as possible. Because people have the same needs, have the same concerns.
Well, the forum is not India.
Yeah, the forum is essentially not India.
It's some part of it, whereas this forum is India.
Essentially. Essentially.
Talk about diversity. I come from Delhi. I come from a political center. And the project that I did was a team where my director was a Polish student. I was Delhiite. My sound student was somebody from Kerala. One person was from Bihar and my camera person was a Marathi. So it was a mix of people where we not only understood that, okay, we are coming and doing a project together. It's not about getting from a team, but how the thought process have developed wherever they come from. And it's diverse. I mean, I come from a very different background. All the other 4 people come from different backgrounds. But we got together and came to a consent that we could push a thought together. So that is where we come from. And the surprising part is that I was a very homegrown child since the very beginning. And Pune, FTII was the first outing for me. My parents are very protective, and when my dad came and dropped me, he just saw the space and he said, okay, I feel you'll be at home. And today I feel threatened because of whatever is happening. And the threat is so apparent that I cannot step out of the institute feeling secure.
What do you think will happen?
Since the strike was not happening, we were all living in this happy-go-lucky environment where we were supposed to and we could do whatever we could. But with the strike coming in, with people who are involved, who are part of the society, being local Puneites, they give us threats in any form and all the forms every day. We have FIRs against students. Vandalism is happening outside the door, outside the gate of the institute. So I don't know whether today, tomorrow I'll step out and somebody will not come and hit me. So it's as blatant, and I'm getting calls from home that come back. So our parents are in support of what we're doing, but they're threatening for our lives, and we're in democracy. I mean, I'm telling them I need to ask the question that why? Why am I being put to live in this environment of fear? I am a creative person, or any man for this matter is supposed to be protected. You can't just come and just start, blaming things and, putting allegations. We are being labeled as drug abusers. I mean, what is happening? I mean, I don't know. It's very surprising.
Just in order to add what she said, I mean, this has been a genuine, this has been a genuine problem in how we are being perceived, and how they are trying to make us be perceived outside. Because they're not being able to answer our questions. So that's why they're trying to, and it was important for you to understand what a few students said, to understand the space. Like even for every day of the strike, we have questioned ourselves, like, are we doing the right thing? If anybody's come out and said that, no, you're doing the wrong thing, why are you striking? We've given that person a chance to speak, a chance to articulate himself or herself. So that is the kind of space that we live in. And yet, at the outside, from the political government, we face absolute lack of dialogue, absolute lack of interest. Such a situation should not arise that students are allowed to strike for 50 days. I mean, any students, should they be allowed to strike for 50 days? Even if whatever, I think you were getting at this earlier when you were talking about if 250 students think something. So there has to be engagement with them. So that engagement is not there. For 50 days, why have students of FTII been allowed to strike? Is a huge question that I have in my mind.
See, there's a fundamental difference in thinking between the way you think and the way the RSS thinks. For you, this institution includes your flesh and blood. So when you think of this institution, it's this hall, it's the teachers, and it's you. For them, you're not the institution. For them, the institution is the hall, the structure, and the people who impart the knowledge. Because for them, their thinking is that they have the knowledge. So all they want to do is transfer the knowledge to you. Whereas your thinking and my thinking is that the knowledge is in you. And what we need to do is create an environment here with the hall and the teachers so that that knowledge can come out of you. This is the difference. They fundamentally do not understand why you people are shouting. Because in their mind, you are just here to absorb information. Nothing more. They do not fundamentally understand that an institution is you. People tell me, oh, IIT is a great institution. Well, the greatest thing in the IIT are the students. Frankly, everything else is not as great as the students are. But in their mind, that's not how it works. In their mind, they have information, they understand it, they explain the universe, they understand the universe, and they use this structure to transmit it into you.